First one that we're going to speak about is the zroa, or the shank bone. The shank bone is there to remind us it is not something which is eaten. Some people use a shank bone, some people use some chicken. It is something which is, whatever the custom is, some sort of a small piece of meat. It is there to remember the third of the big three of Passover. Today we only have two of the big three, which is matzah and maror. In the times of the Bet HaMikdash, of the temple, the Jews also had the Passover lamb, the Passover sacrifice, the Korban Pesach, which we don't have today. And in order to remember that, we have the shank bone. Moving along, we also have charoset. Charoset is customarily made out of wine, nuts, cinnamon, many different, customs throughout Jewish communities around the world of how to make charoset. It is a sweet, pretty nice tasting substance. The original reason for charoset was actually because the maror in the times of the temple had very sharp taste to it. Some said there was a little worm that would inhabit vegetables that people would use for maror, and in order to get rid of this, that it should be more proper for consumption, we should dip it into some wine and the other ingredients in charoset, which would make the maror more edible. And that's why we have it. In addition, it is also something which reminds us of the cement. It has a slightly cement-like texture, which the Jews were forced to use during their 80 years of slavery in Egypt. Moving along, we have maror. We have maror twice, two marors on the Seder plate. One is known as maror, one is known as chazeret. The reason for that is because we have maror once in the Seder, as we'll get to when we speak about the Seder. And again in the Seder, it is also used for the sandwich. We take two pieces of matzah and put maror in the middle, so we have two marors on the Seder plate. We have four so far. The remaining two are the egg. The egg is there again. You're allowed to eat it, but it's not something which is a mitzvah or even a custom to eat. I shouldn't say it's not a custom. Some have a custom to eat it, but it is there only to remember, to remind us of something which used to take place. Every holiday, every major holiday in the times of the Bet HaMikdash, of the temple, which are Pesach, Shavuot, and Sukkot, all Jews from around the world would have a mitzvah to walk, yes, to walk, not even to drive in a wagon, even if one had one, to walk to Jerusalem to make a pilgrimage and celebrate the holiday there. And they would come with a korban chagiga, which means a sacrifice, a celebration, which would be used for meat to celebrate the holiday. We don't have that special meat, we don't have that special offering, the korban chagiga. So to remember it, we have an egg. And last but not least, there is the karpas, which is a vegetable. Many different customs, which vegetable, it can be parsley, potato, onion, celery, or many others. The main thing is to have a vegetable, and we use that vegetable to dip into the salt water, which is a part of the Seder. We'll get to that when we speak about the Seder. The reason for that, in short, is to keep the children interested, and that's the reason why we take a vegetable and dip it into salt water, which is an odd thing to eat, to make the kids perk up and say, hey, why are you doing that? So they would be more interested in what we do at the Seder. And those are the 6 items of our Seder plates.